coming up tonight on 0800 Tardis News, we'll be talking to Alan Jones from the marketing company Draft FCB to talk about the prime moon bounce in association with 0800 Tardis. We'll also be talking to Martin Dutsfield about our 0800 Tardis road tour and how our first destination is Woodville, and we'll be having a nice lovely conversation with the neighbours and what's up next on 0800 Tardis Reviews. Plus, if you would like to win a Doctor Who screen-printed Dalek tea towel, we've got one up for grabs thanks to Urban Charms. So all these details will be coming up in 0800 TARDIS News. Good evening and welcome to 0800 TARDIS News. So, how's your day been? My day's been great. I've had a lovely interview on Access Men or Two. Had good time talking to Carl, which will be mentioned on air later on tonight. And we've also, got myself a new car. Nice lovely little red Alto 800cc. Hopefully, once we get that ready for the warrant, it's on the road tour. So, fingers crossed there. That gets there, because it's just going to get a warrant and it's just going to have wheel bearing 6 and a horn. So that's going good. And also we'll be talking to, in the show we're going to be talking to Jay Barmer from the Doctor Who fan page TARDIS, one of our namesakes who have helped us over time. And also we'll be talking to Alan Jones later in the show, and we'll be sitting there and talking to him about what is the latest promotion that 0800 TARDIS is going to be part of. So, some of the news in the media we have is the ways to avoid spoilers. One of the ways to avoid spoilers would be stay offline until you've caught up on the TV show episode. That may seem obvious, but for those who rely on being online and up to date on what's happening, that's easier said than done. Pretty obvious. But for big TV events you're missing, you can at least stay off Twitter and Facebook while the show is airing and a few hours afterwards. Hopefully that will work as a good idea. We'll see if that works with the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who over here, because as you see, we're in New Zealand and at this rate we're not having a simultaneous broadcast. Also, it says on their stay off entertainment or sports websites that may reveal what happens in the headlines, or even mainstream news sites that often can't resist posting TV info such as results for competitive reality shows on the box. Method 2 is technology to fight spoilers, especially on Twitter. Spoiler Shields, a recently launched free app for iPhone and iPads, promises to clear Facebook and Twitter of spoilery information. Don't know how that's going to work. It might actually not work properly, but hey, interesting to know. And Twivo's a browser plugin that can eliminate spoilers from Twitter feeds. Tools including TweetDeck and Twitter apps such as Ecrofon and Tweetcaster allow you to mute hashtags or users. Well, I think that would work quite well, thinking of what they use. Also, method 3 would include the least convenient, least convenience for those who watch TV on their DVR terms. Watch the show you're most worried about when they air, especially shows that have with a high body count. Homeland, Walking Dead were examples that were used on stuff. Even making a virtual fort for yourself online won't guarantee the spoilers. Won't intrude on your viewing. Gibson said the Breaking Bad finale was almost spoiled for her when coffee shop customers began discussing it nearby. She said, I turned and told them, could you not do that here? They looked at the conversation. They took their conversation and said, "No, not everybody will be this kind. You should hurry up." So true. So that's what's happening in the news. So we're going to take a quick break, and Alan Jones will be here to tell us what we'll be launching on the show that 0800 Tardis is involved in. See you after the break.
I've been running all my lives through time and space. Every second of every minute of every day for over 900 years. I fought for peace in a universe at war. Now the time has come to face the choices I've made in the name of the Doctor. Our future depends on one single moment of one impossible day. The day I've been running from all my life. The day of the Doctor.
Well, welcome back. So now we've got coming live from Auckland, we've got Alan Jones from FCP. So how are you there today, Alan? FCB.
Well, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing very well. Had a very interesting day, as you probably know.
Yeah, I listened to your interview today on Manawa 2 Radio.
Yeah, what did you think?
Yeah, it was good. It was long. I learned a lot about Doctor Who, and I liked your little spiel about the moon bouncer.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Sounds exciting.
Well, you're probably going to sit there and explain to us a lot more about it.
Yeah. So the moon bouncer, obviously, we're using your phone line 0800 Tardis.
Oh, yes, I know.
What did you want to ask me about?
Well, what are the terms and conditions of the, entry? How long's going for, so the fans can know? I mean, I know, and you know, but the fans don't.
Yeah, so the 0800 Tardis moon bouncer that'll be going live from Monday. The only terms and conditions are that you don't swear, you don't use any profanities, you just call up, you can leave a 20-second message, and the 50 best for the 50th anniversary will be getting sent to the moon.
Yes. Now, how would that work? Is probably one question. I got stung with that question earlier, so you know.
Yeah. No, it's fairly technical. We're using an astrophysicist in Switzerland to do it. It relies on a technique called Earth-Moon-Earth communications. Shorthand, that's EME, that involves sending radio waves into space using an Earth-based transmitter. It will reflect them off the moon's surface, and then they'll be returned to Earth. They'll get picked up by an Earth-based receiver. So yeah, highly technical. It can't be done in New Zealand as far as we know.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it will be going off at Switzerland then.
Sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, okay. Does that sound like it will be going off at Switzerland? Was it be happening at Switzerland?
So we've kept calls. Well, most likely we'll be getting calls just locally from New Zealand because the idea is for prime television. We've also got a website running. Is it moonbouncer.co.nz? Yeah. I think it's moonbouncer.co.nz, but we're still just sorting out a domain name. So that'll open it up to entries worldwide.
Oh, okay, and then we'll go live on Monday.
I'd say that going live on Monday, but so your number 0800 Tardis and the Moonbouncer website will both be going live Monday. So Sorry, that's the Doctor Who moonbouncer.co.nz.
Doctor Who movie bouncer. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, a little bit about your company. What are they famous for? Since you work for...
So we're an advertising agency. We're probably our recent largest, kind of most famous campaign would be the SPCA Driving Dogs. That's where one of our clients, Minnie, wanted to sponsor the SPCA, so our agency came up with an idea which was to teach dogs how to drive cars.
Oh yes,
And,
was that on
yeah,
Campbell
that
Live?
Well, it got on David Letterman. It was a big... Yeah, you would have seen it on Campbell Live.
Oh, okay.
So, that's like it's one of our most recent campaigns. So yeah, we like to do things that are a bit kind of out of the norm, I guess.
Out of the norm. Oh, okay. And is that how Prime approached you? Was it you for the 50th anniversary, possibly with the moon bounce?
Yeah, more or less. So Prime's one of our regular clients. We do all the ads for all their shows. So it's usually radio, print, and outdoor billboards, and just kind of anything else we can come up with, really. And they sort of, Doctor Who's got a huge following, so they wanted to do something quite special for this 50th. Yeah, so that's how we came up with the idea of the moon bouncer. Yeah,
well, they say it's about 38,000 people follow Doctor Who in New Zealand, according to Facebook, on the was it Facebook ads? But I'll probably say more would follow it. I wouldn't be surprised, especially since the 50th anniversary is coming up.
Well, it's one of Prime's most popular shows, and all these special episodes, the Christmas specials and the 50th and those kind of things always get quite large tune in.
Yeah. Now, would you know at all whether they'll be participating in the simultaneous broadcast at all or not?
I don't believe so. I have heard that the simultaneous broadcast, if we were to do it in New Zealand, would be sometime between 6 and 9, where you can only show G-rated shows. I can't confirm that, but...
Yeah, I think I've heard something similar, yeah. Yeah, I heard something...
I think, I can't guarantee because it's quite far out from the show, but I'm pretty sure it'll be on at night time. Do we know that?
Probably 8 o'clock at night. Knowing, what do you call it, Prime?
Time. So... Okay, I just got confirmation that the time will be confirmed on the 13th of November, so we'll have a better idea then.
So 13th of November. Well, God, that's that's only a week.
The simultaneous broadcast. Yeah, so we can't confirm yet. We'll need to speak to Prime.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair enough.
I know that the director of Doctor Who was quite keen to. Have a worldwide simultaneous broadcast.
I know. Stephen Moffat seems to want to push on the idea of that. So wonder if it will happen. Yeah. Also,
interesting to see.
Yeah. So, how many hours would you say you and the team have put into this project?
Well, we came up with the idea about 5 months ago, and to get all the right people in place, find the right amount of money, make everything happen. I actually have no idea how many hours of my hours personally would be over 100 easily. I hate to think how much time the whole team's put into it. It was a lot of work.
Oh, okay. Heck, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of planning for the last few months to get this thing just right.
Yeah, and it been kept dark, under wraps for so long. That's one thing that I'm amazed that just never hit the media.
Yeah, well, the first time anyone had ever heard about it, and the wider public would have been today on your
on Access Manua 2. I know, and I haven't.
Access Manua 2, yeah. So
I haven't heard.
You're actually the one to break it.
I know. That feels so good. That feels so good. Yeah, it's weird that how it feels so good, but I mean, it's one of those things that it's how it goes, that sort of thing. Have you ever watched Doctor Who yourself at all?
Yeah, well, it makes sense for you to break the news having such a large following. To be honest, I'd never actually watched it until this year when I started doing a bit of work on Doctor Who, and I've seen a few episodes, and yeah, I'd like to watch it more. I'll definitely be watching the 50th.
And has it took a while to get
sort of been too busy coming up with the idea.
Yeah. Has it took a while to get your head around the TARDIS, the regenerations, and all of the whole concept of how the Doctor does things?
Well, I knew a bit about it. I mean, I always knew about the TARDIS because it's fairly iconic. Kind of the house. I used to live in this little hut that people would call the TARDIS. Because it was tiny and then it was actually quite spacious on the inside. It had a mezzanine and stuff, so one day I googled what the TARDIS was. This was when I was a teenager. So that's how I first found out what the TARDIS was called.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I know a fair bit about regeneration and the 11 Doctors and so on.
Yeah, except even Stephen Moffat had to throw in the twist of the John Hurt 8.5, which has seemed to have confused the fans.
Yeah.
But not surprised, that's something he'll do.
I hadn't heard about the 8.5 Doctors until your Access 102 show today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for a few things on that one. And on probably some sarcastic side of things, would you phrase women's handbags as like the TARDIS? Puts a lot more stuff in it than it seems, than it looks.
Yes, I would. I think that's the closest thing on this planet to a TARDIS.
Or maybe Suzuki Altos, but I think actually I think woman's handbag might beat the Suzuki Alto on that one.
Yeah, I think so. I think you probably put more stuff in there than you could in the Alto.
Yeah, well,
never ending, aren't they?
Yeah, amazing how roomy the front seats are, but I don't want to sit at the back. And who else in the team you work with who are, have you got a wide following at your workplace of active Doctor Who fans? Or have they just become more recently joined the team of Whovians?
There's a good mix. There's one of our digital producers who's been helping out with all the online stuff, so the website and the banners and everything. She's a massive Doctor Who fan ever since she was a kid. A lot of other people I've spoken to about Doctor Who are on the team actually watched Doctor Who when they were kids and got a bit scared of it and haven't come back to it. But now since we've been doing this, they've gone back and watched it and they think, oh, this isn't actually as scary as I remember it from being a kid.
There are many episodes, like, I have to say, sitting there watching them, yes, they would make you jump, but I have to say, they'll make you jump, but they won't sit there and really kind of, how do I say, they don't scare you like people said, oh, I used to hide behind the sofa. Like one of our admins to our 100 Tales team, Tardis, he will straight up say, when I was a kid, I used to sit there and hide behind the sofa watching Doctor Who, but I had to be in there hiding behind the sofa to watch it. I couldn't sit there and not watch it. I had to know what happened.
Yeah, I've heard a few pretty similar stories.
Yeah, it's amazing, how people said that. And because I started more on the late side, because I would have been in the era where Doctor Who wasn't being broadcasted, because it was on that, that long ever hiatus till 2005. It just wasn't, there. And I do remember when I sat there and I just looked at it and go, Doctor Who? Oh, that sounds like a good show, let's watch it. Oh yes, hooked, except my mum didn't like it that, Christopher Eccleston was the Doctor.
Like it was a life-changing moment for you then.
Yeah, but it took that was 2006, it took, 4 years for it to really become active, and that was my boss, Sherry, when I was working at Domino's. She was active into it and gave me the episodes, and I just kind of overtook her. I mean, when I, I recently brought, June last year, I brought a whole heap of classic Doctor Who videos. The old school PAL videotapes, and this was another person's collection that they were willing to part with the whole collection, and I brought all these videotapes for $200. And it's amazing, you know,
How many tapes did you get?
Or at least 50. It's at least 50. I'll probably say between 50 and 60. It's a lot. I have gone through there and I found one double up.
So collector's items.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you sit there and you look at this, I mean, you sit there and, you know, okay, I mean, your fans can see it, and now I'll show it onto your webcam, is these are the collector containers for the Daleks, which they've featured 2 episodes like that. This one features Planet of the Dalek, which is one of John Pertwee's eras, and Revelation of the Dalek, which is Colin Baker's only Dalek episode. So that's that container. I also have the Cybermen set and the Master set, which, you know, were 3 villains of the Doctor, and very good villains. You know, which...
Yeah, you don't see those every day.
No. I mean, I've never seen them until I got them off Jamie when he sold the collection to me. I was shocked. And, you know, it was brilliant. I mean, I remember when I had them there and I had them all sitting on the floor and I had no clue where to do them. They only finally made their way into a cupboard, was it when I brought my widescreen TV 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I can show you that on the camera once we go off air. I can show you how big the collection is. As you know, it might be worthwhile, you know, at least...
I'm on that, right?
Sorry?
I'm on your widescreen TV as we speak.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I'm going to get in the way, so, you know, it's yeah. But my fans, because there's 3 cameras over there, they won't see what you see, because you're on a, you know, how do I say? You're on one camera, and they're was it the 3 that are, you know, being used? One's recording you, one's recording the whole set, and one's recording me, which you'll see that format when it goes live on YouTube.
I'd be keen to check that rig out, actually.
What, the collection?
So, how often is this show?
We used to aim to do what we used to aim to do it once a month, and then when it hit when my car packed up, I went to it kind of put it on the back burner because I was focusing to get my car fixed, which took 3 months. And then I decided, in that time, that's when I brought the widescreen TV, brought 2 additional cameras to the fleet to, you know, liven it all up. And basically it just brought it up from there. And then I decided it would have been about 2.5 weeks ago, that was the relaunch of episode number 6, and we had a competition to drag up to it, and I set a date and made it happen. So I brought it back up, and then I decided we'll do today to, bring it coincide, because today was originally meant to be the big thing of telling what's going to happen with the 0800 Tardis Road Tour, but since this new car I bought is still not quite road legal, needs about 2 repairs to be done for it to get a warrant, it's a little bit up in the air. I would say I would be there, and hey, don't be surprised if I start knocking on the bottom of your door at the office. Because I'll turn up at funny times. Yeah, it's one of those things I have done. People have been shocked when I turn up and where I turn up. And I'll just sit there, you know, turn up partially announced, but, you know, I'll make my way get in there.
Yeah. Well, now you know what our company's called. I'm sure you'll show up on the doorstep one day dressed as a TARDIS.
Oh, you probably won't see me dressed as TARDIS. I think you might see me more dressed as a combination of the 9th Doctor's costume looking like the 4th Doctor. Considering that's, you know, the length of the hair at the moment, it's similar to the 4th Doctor had his hairstyle in the day. Yeah.
I thought when I saw you look like the 4th Doctor.
Yeah, it's weird that, because I didn't intend to, you know, be like that. I mean, I have been told I could play the part quite well, but you know, to me, I wouldn't want to impersonate a Doctor. I'd like to be my own Doctor, the own incarnation of it.
Yeah, you'd be the New Zealand Doctor.
Yeah. I mean, I've got
Kiwi incarnation.
Yeah, I've got it planned. I don't.
You've got need to work on your act.
Yeah, might have to work on it since I don't have much acting experience. I will be doing this if I get to Auckland, which if the car's on the road, I'm getting to Auckland, no trouble. Greg Goodeye, he is famous for impersonating John Key. So if you can picture John Key trying to, John Key needs the doctor for help, as Winston Churchill did in 1941, and somehow accidentally created the Daleks and to win World War II. So we're trying to do something, but we won't have the Daleks in there. It's more like the doctor, John Key rings up the doctor for help, sits there, takes him on a couple of bribes and gets nowhere. But we'll have to see. Greg and myself will sit there and design a script closer to the date.
So you're going to approach John Key with that?
Not John Key, John Key's impersonator. I've already been in contact with his impersonator. Surely you would have seen him on there. You would have seen him on there. He was on John and Ben at 10 last week. So there were quite a good few, clips on there I liked about, Greg Goodeye. So while we're on here, do you want to ask me anything else, or?
Well, I just want to ask you what you're thinking of saying. What is your 20-second message that you're going to send to the moon?
I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I have thought about it, but I have not come to a conclusion of what I would like. I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. We'll find out as well, true, and that's why you've got to sit there and think hard. It will be interesting what it is, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I'd encourage your fans to do the same as well.
Oh yes, yes. Once it's all live and that, daily alerts to remind them to sit there and record their message to the moon bounce. I wonder if we could sit there and try and get some international people ringing in. I don't know if that will happen, but hey, we can always try.
We've heard a rumour that there's a Doctor Who fan out there actually who's thinking of proposing to his wife using the moon bouncer.
Ooh, I think that would be very good. There is
the message. That's the message you need to beat.
I need to beat proposing to the wife. Ooh, yeah, that might be something a bit hard to do. I don't know if you heard, but in London there are going to be 50 couples getting married on the 23rd of November to celebrate 50 years of Doctor Who.
Really?
Yes, there are 50 couples. Yeah, there are 50 couples. Little things that you find out, you hear in the news and all of that. So, go on that. Yeah. So, anything else we'd like to talk about?
How is the phone recording, the line going? Has that been set up?
Interesting story. I have come across a bit of difficulty trying to set it up. It's going to be interesting. As I've heard from those recordings, the keys are in the right spot for the phone messages to Two Talk settings, but trying to sit there and slip the messages in all at the right places are a little bit more difficult than what I intended, thinking what would happen, and it's going to be I'm probably going to have to sit there and be on the phone for a couple of hours talking to Two Talk on how to, how do we do this and all that. It'll be a bit of a challenge, but we'll get there. Yeah.
We'd be happy to talk to Two Talk at our end.
Yeah, well, we could do a conference call.
If that would make it easier for you.
Yeah, well, we could do a conference call. If that's not a problem, we can conference call Two Talk. Because, they offer conference call software. Yeah, well, I've got to find out to see. Yeah, well, I've got to find to see if we've got whether a team member would be there on the weekend. That's just the interesting question is there someone there? Because I gave them the ring already and no one was there at the time and it just went straight to answer phone. Which that was just 5:15, so they're probably all just knocked off for the weekend. So it'll be interesting to find out.
Yeah. we'll be more than happy to send them an email.
Yeah, that might be easiest way, and sit there and see, put it into a script of how to do it and how to basically upload it to, to the phone number, which, it won't, how do I say it? It won't be 0800 TARDIS, but the 0800 TARDIS is the number you dial, and then it will divert to this phone number, which will be specially for it. Yeah. Which that separates it from when it comes to emailing the messages. That's the easiest way to separate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they'll call 0800 TARDIS.
Yes, they'll still call 0800 TARDIS. And they basically select an option, moon bounce, and then it'll put you through to the special to this number. You record your message, and bing, one copy and email copy gets sent to you guys. Yeah, now that's the easiest way to get around it.
Would one go to your personal phone and the other go to the moon bouncer?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. And also, if you sit there and hit dial the right number, you can also ring other people who are on the system that aren't quite 0800 TARDIS, but you can get through to my landlord on that as well. It's a bit of an interesting system, my 0800 number system. Yeah. So. Yeah. So I'll call the. So I'll call.
Have a look for your.
Sorry, I've just missed all of that.
Sorry.
I just missed all of that. Just went. Was it blank?
Do you have a login for your 0800 TARDIS number that we could use so we can talk to them?
Oh, I could set you up a secondary one. Yeah, that wouldn't be hard. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it could help. Maybe just so we can handle the moon bouncer side of it.
Yeah. Okay, I think that would work.
Control of your
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll take a break, fans. And looks like was it Ella and I are going to have a very long, lengthy chat. So see you after the break.
This one knows me, as I know him, the killer of his own kind.
Where are we?
Oh, it's the Tardis. It's my home.
The Tardis is dimensionally transcendental.
A thing that looks like a police box standing in a junkyard. It's alive. It can move anywhere in time and space.
Who are you?
I'm the Doctor.
I'm a Time Lord.
I'm from the planet Gallifrey, the
constellation of Castorberus.
I travel in time and space.
You're not one for travelling alone. The Doctor and his companion.
Just friends, chums, pals, mates, buddies. Some left me, some got left behind, and some died.
There are some corners of the universe which have read the most terrible things. Things which act against everything that we believe in. They must be fought.
Everything that ever hated you is coming here tonight. You can't win this. You can't even fight it.
The monsters and the Doctor. It seems you cannot have one without the other.
You mean you're deliberately choosing to go on the run from your own people in a rackety old TARDIS?
Why not? After all, that's how it all started.
What's happened?
Change, my dear. Regeneration. A complete new life cycle.
When he's dying, his body, it repairs itself, it changes.
He will become a new man.
And it seems not a moment too soon.
He sees the threads that join the universe together and mends them when they break.
Because this is what I do. Every time, every day, every second. This. Hold tight.
Our lives are different to anybody else's. That's the exciting thing. Nobody in the universe can do what we're doing.
The first question, Doctor Who?
Yes, it all started out as a mild curiosity in the junkyard. And now it's turned out to be quite a great spirit of adventure, isn't it?
So, welcome back. Now, we seem to be having a little difficulty getting hold of Jay over in the UK, probably to do with a bit of the time difference and all that sort of stuff. So we'll take a short look at, not a short look, we'll take a look at interview between Carl and myself at Access Manor 2, and then we'll sit there and see if we can try and get hold of Jay, or if we can sit there and move on to Brian, who's our admin down in Wellington, and then we'll mention about the 0800 TARDIS road tour. So, let's sit and enjoy. Well, welcome. So we are doing a pre-recorded section here in Access Manor 2's recording studio, as you might be able to see around us. You've got the recording studio table and everything. We're also on the live interview table here, where you can probably see the microphones. It's a bit different from the lounge that I'm used to, so yeah. So, Cal Pearce from Access Manor 2, welcome to the show.
Welcome, thank you very much.
Same to
Thank
you.
you very much for having me.
Oh, same with having me on your show just before.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting a little bit of my own...
one-on-one?
Well, yeah, this is a sort of different side for me to be on.
Being the interviewee,
getting interviewed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
especially while it's a topic I know nothing about, so I would actually.
Well, I can't force you becoming a Whovian as such. Yeah. So, I mean, how did you think earlier went? I think it went great.
The show?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. It was really good. Yeah. And then to have the call in from England.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That was something that was out of the blue. RJ, I'd like to thank him for coming through there. Who just said, "Poof, here's my phone number, ring."
Yeah. No, absolutely, it was brilliant.
Yeah. And, so on the little bits you do know about Doctor Who, what do you remember?
Okay, so you said you sort of forced me to become a Whovian, which, in a funny way, not really.
Oh, not really?
I mean, we talked earlier about how when I was a kid, I watched a lot of Doctor Who, and I think here in New Zealand, it was quite a number of reruns, the same kind of person. All the time.
Did have big gaps in our transmission. Like when Doctor Who went colour, it was because New Zealand didn't go colour at the same time. It was quite a number of years. It was about 4 years, I think, until we went till the John Pertwee era started.
Yeah, well, there you go then. So I particularly remember the John Pertwee era of Doctor Who here in New Zealand, and that's when I actually became. When I was a Whovian, when I did like Doctor Who, and I watched it all through my childhood, and then of course as a teenager, I just didn't seem to see it as much as what I had when I was a kid. Now I don't know whether that had anything to do with age, or whether it had anything to do with...
If you're a teenager in the 90s, there was no Doctor Who.
Oh, well there you go then, so that'll be it. Yeah. So I was... busy going to mountain rock concerts, listening to Ozzy Osbourne.
How fun!
So that's sort of what I was doing, and then of course the next one I remember, and I've got to say not really as much for the Doctor himself, but more for the young singer who was his protege.
Oh, Christopher Eccleston and Billy Piper.
Billy Piper, yeah. Now
I didn't know she was a singer until I sat there and watched the Wessex link with Anne Robertson.
Yeah.
And that's where I found it. Now,
she was really a well-known, well-established artist in her own right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she was cast as Doctor Who's sidekick. What do they call them?
Companion sidekick.
Yeah, and then of course I go, oh, Billy Piper. Well, I'm interested again. So there you go.
I do think she was a good companion. She is making her way back for the 50th anniversary alongside David Tennant.
Yes.
So it's going to be very interesting.
Oh wow! Now of course, I don't recall a companion being with John Pertwee
he had 3 companions.
He had 3 companions?
He had Liz Shaw was his first when he first landed in Earth. She only did 1 season because she was a scientist and she spoke to the Doctor on the same level and didn't sit there and talk down to the companions. I think she was quite a good companion. And then he had Joe Grant, who was, I'd like to say Dumb Ditzy Blonde. No offence to Katie Manning, I have to say no offence, but yes, Joe was kind of like that. And then it was after Joe had Sarah Jane Smith, who was a journalist.
Oh, right, okay. Which is an odd sort of odd thing, I would imagine, for a Doctor, maybe not wanting to get his persona out there.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but he said. But we've got to remember, Elizabeth Sladen played the Doctor's companion for 3.5 years. So
Really, that long?
She was the longest-serving companion.
Far out.
And has made the most reappearances as a companion throughout the whole in history.
Yeah, brilliant.
No other companion's made as many reappearances as she did.
Fantastic. Well, good on her. Well, then it must say something about either me as a child, as opposed to me as an adult, because I don't remember the companions as much as I actually remember the Doctor himself.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember, I think Jo Grant, Katie Manning played Jo Grant. I know she was in it quite a while, but I think she played the role very well.
Yep.
She was very, good at it. I enjoyed her. I mean, I think she's made one reappearance in the Sarah Jane Adventures alongside with Elizabeth Sladen. But I think she needs to make a reappearance in Doctor Who as being the only remaining living companion of John Pertwee.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, Elizabeth Sladen died at 64 of cancer, and Liz, Carol and John, who played Liz Shaw, I know died within the last 12 months, not sure what of, but she was a lot older than, Elizabeth Sladen and Katie Manning.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so Katie Manning's the only living one left.
From the John Pertwee series. So, he was the Doctor, what Doctor number was he?
3.
He was number 3.
Number 3,
so that's why I remember number 3 then, Doctor 3.
Yeah. Probably also for Weasel Gummidge.
Well, yeah, that's because he played Weasel Gummidge before that.
No, it was after.
It was after that.
It was after
that.
Okay.
So
But we might have got it a bit mixed up over here. Yeah.
Well, I was a kid too, so
Now, did you ever watch Weasel Gummidge Down Under?
No, I just remember watching Weasel Gummidge.
Because they did a Weasel Gummidge Down Under series in New Zealand. Unfortunately, if you're in the Whovian world, we do not like this person called Michael Grade.
Yeah.
But he put Doctor Who on hiatus and tried to exit in the 80s.
Yeah.
And when he was BBC controller of BBC One. Then he was a controller of Channel 4, and he exed Weasel Gummidge Down Under, which was a joint venture between Channel 4 UK and TVNZ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so John Pertwee, and I'm trying to think, now who was the other person who was in it? But it was Weasel Gummidge, and I think it was the person who...
Oh, who owned the farm or whatever.
They came down under and they did 2 series in New Zealand, and it was all the characters were different, but John Pertwee and this one, whoever else it was.
Yeah.
So it was quite an interesting story.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so that's where I remember John. That's probably where I particularly got that John Pertwee was Doctor Who. And Weasel Gummidge thing. It was from my childhood. And then, of course, Billy Piper comes along, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, okay, yes, well, Billy Piper is quite cute, and she's a great singer, but she's also, brilliant actress as well, so that's fantastic. And so I started watching again, but not really for the Doctor. So you did name the Doctor, but not really... So who was the actor?
Christopher Eccleston.
Right, so he played the Doctor.
He played the 9th Doctor, and then David Tennant played the 10th, and Billy Piper was in the regeneration scene.
She was in the scene between the two of them. And of course, then you've got number
11, Matt Smith.
Yeah. And
number 12, who hasn't yet screened, Peter Capaldi.
Peter Capaldi, yes. So it's really the last 2 Doctors that have played that I think Billy Piper really pulled me back into actually watching Doctor Who again.
Interesting how you say that, because I've never heard a person say that before.
Oh,
it's something a bit different.
Yeah. And then of course since then I've had a slight interest because she was in that scene, but then you've got a new companion who was really interesting, the redhead girl.
When Catherine Tate played Donna Noble.
Yeah.
I have to admit, she played the role so well.
Yeah, she played the role really well, and it was really interesting because there's scenes between when the Doctor visited her as a child, because she lived in a house that...
Oh, no, that's not... No, that would be Amy Pond. played by Karen Gillett. Yeah, so it was the next one.
So it's the next one, Amy Pond, sorry.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I forgot they had 2 redheads in there.
Yeah, so Amy Pond was the next one, and I found that interesting because her character was, she was quite an attractive looking lass, but her character was quite quirky. But there was that real link between the Doctor visiting her when she was a child and when she was sort of older. So.
And it was Matt Smith's, I think she is the longest running companion since Sarah Jane Smith, with Elizabeth Sladen.
Well, that wouldn't be surprising.
Oh no, maybe, Katie Manning might be on par with time-wise, but she did 2.5 seasons, along with Arthur Darvill, who played Rory Williams, which was her husband on the show.
Yes, yeah. And it was a really weird sort of...
It was a unique one, because they haven't ever had... that was not usually you had a couple and the Doctor.
Yeah.
That was an unusual one, and that was Amy Pond and Rory Williams. Was,
and there was a whole lot of really interesting twists and turns, and there was a lot of stories around Amy Pond and her relationship with her husband.
Yeah.
And the sort of interesting relationship between her and the Doctor.
Yeah, and when it came to the 3rd season, that's when you started to see more of Rory's family.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, was it The Power of 3? You saw Mark Williams, who's famous for playing Mr. Weasley on Harry Potter.
Oh, right, yeah.
Played Rory Williams' father. Actually, quite a laugh. What was he? He was called Brian Williams on the show, but his real name's Mark Williams.
Oh, okay. Well,
that was quite a laugh how, he had the same last name on the show, but he played Rory Williams' father. And including when they did brought back the Brigadier's daughter to the show. Kate Lethbridge Stewart, but dropped Lethbridge to just Stewart, so she didn't get preferential treatment when she joined unit.
So is it really a sign of the times then that we are seeing a lot more stories around the companion and those sort of?
I think they're focused more.
Deeper,
I think they focus more on the companion because you saw, like, I'm trying to think. Liz Shaw, I don't think you ever saw her family. Jo Grant, you met her husband to be in the last scene. Where she became, when she did her return in Sarah Jane Adventures, she was Jo Jones, not Jo Grant, because she married Clifford Jones.
Okay.
Yeah. So that part seemed to have followed.
Yeah.
So that part at least got followed. But you didn't see, I have to admit, in the John Pertwee era, which is when all that unit era, you never met Jo's parents. You met Sarah Jane's Aunt Lavinia, but that was about... I'm trying to think. Leila, you never met her parents. You never met, what's it called? Adric's parents. Never met Romana's parents. Well, however, Romana was another Time Lord and knew so much about the Doctor. It was
right, and I've seen that lady come in and out of seasons too,
Layla Ward? I know, she's only made one guest appearance since leaving the show.
Okay.
She has made many
later on, and we'll... Because I'm just throwing it out of my memory here. But anyway, so the companions, for me, have made the story sort of a little bit richer.
Yes.
Of recent.
Yeah. I do remember with Martha, you got to meet her whole family in that one, and same with Donna. You met her grandfather and her mother.
Okay.
Yeah, which I have to admit, I like Jack Willing-King and Bernard Cribbin. Bernard Cribbin is one of the few actors who has done both. He did a Doctor Who movie in the 60s.
Okay, cool.
And then he made him come back as Wilfred Mott. And, as Donna's grandfather.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that was a bit of an interesting one. The other one who's made 2 appearances...
Was that a purposeful twist, or was that just...
No, I think that's just how it ended up happening. I think Bernard Cribbin applied for the role and got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd probably say it seemed more like that. Another one who made a bit of a big, who's appeared in both in classic and modern Doctor Who is David Troughton, Patrick Troughton's son. And he's appeared in 3 or 4 classic episodes and 1 modern. So he's made his appearance across it, and he's also the audio voice for the 2nd Doctor now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
audio voice.
Yes, because they do audio ventures now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the old past Doctors. Which, that is also hosted by the voice of the Daleks, Nick Briggs.
Who you met.
Yes, who I've met. Oh, yes, yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So that's kind of my memory. And then, of course, because Amy Pond really, and then her adventures, and of course the Doctors have been really good looking.
Yeah.
And which has brought in, I suppose, a whole lot of new, younger female fans.
Yeah, I have to say, companions and all that, well, they always used to be young females, but I think they've become younger or acted younger. Because, Catherine Tate was probably, I'd say, the oldest companion they've had. And I'd say Jenna Louise Coleman, who's the current companion to the Doctor, in the modern series, she's the youngest they've had.
Okay.
I don't know if you watched Emmerdale, but she was famous for playing Jasmine.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you watch. Mum watches it all the time.
Yeah. No.
Now,
I watched a little bit of it. But
yeah, there's something you're going to be announcing with, what's it called, Nice Lovely Souvenir.
Oh, right, yes, absolutely. So we have been given, when I heard that I was going to be on the show, I was talking to a friend, and she said, look, would you like to give a giveaway to the 0800 Tardis fans? Some kind of competition that I'm sure you'll be able to come up with. One of the fantastic things about being on radio is you get lots of freebies. And people are prepared to give you freebies because you can advertise. So, a lovely place called Urban Charm here on George Street in Palmerston North has given me this old style, old school, and it's a tea towel.
Oh, okay.
But it's a real old style one, and
probably say best one might be camera 2.
Would be camera 2. So here we go. That's it there.
It looks pretty good.
Fantastic. And it says, I love dialect. I love my dialect. Dialect. Yeah, as in I love my darling. And so that there we are giving to 0800 Tardis to give away to one of their fans as you see fit.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sure that there'll be many people around. It is the company is called Plum Jam. They're hand printed.
Yes.
And they're locally made, so that's fantastic.
New Zealand made.
New Zealand made, and down in Nelson.
Down in Nelson.
So that's where they're made. But the shop that has given them away to us is Urban Charm here in Palmerston North, and you can find them on Facebook. Just put in Urban Charm.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
That sounds nice and
That's
easy.
the keywords, and you'll find them. It's one of those sort of old style kind of knick-knacky kind of retro stores.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean by
sort
that.
of like lots of really cool kind of retro stuff that takes you back to your childhood.
Yeah. Okay.
Milk bottles and.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, and pink smokers might be one of the lollies that I don't know if they sell lollies.
Yeah,
but that's another old one.
If they did, then they'd sell them.
Yeah,
I think they do sell like little lolly stuff.
Oh,
like
okay,
that, so,
yeah.
But it's excuse me, that's terrible. But they do sell little stuff just like this. So. It's quite cool. I've got a range of Doctor Who fan, mobilia.
Okay.
And Urban Charm, George Street here in Palmerston North. Check them out.
Yes, and I'll be posting a link on our Facebook page to take it to the website.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, I think we'll call that for the end of our show, and back to the studio for the rest of the show. Okay. Well, welcome back to the studio. I hope you enjoyed that. So we've got the tea towel sitting here right now, I have to say, it looks very, very amazing. What work and detail. I mean, how the handprint and all that. You can get that as what's it called? It's made by a company called Plum Jam, as Carl mentioned earlier, and you can go and see Urban Charms, and see them in the street. They have 2 stores. They have one in George Street in Palmerston North and Bridge Street in Bulls. And I'm going to see if I can try and do an on-the-spot, unannounced interview with them when I sit there and start the 0800 Tardis Road Tour. Because on my way to Woodville, I've got to stop in at Palmerston North. So why not stop there and give them a little bit of a surprise, see what sort of stuff they have in stock. I think it would be amazing. So yeah. So we'll take a quick break. And we'll join us back. And Martin, what's happening up in the next section of? What are you going to say to us?
Well, yes, Sam. Coming up, we'll be talking about the latest 0800 TARDIS reviews, and then we'll be talking about what's happening on 0800 TARDIS news at my place.
So we'll see you after the break.
Who is he? Doctor Who? Perhaps if we knew his name, we might have a clue to all this.
What would you do if it all came back to you? What would you say if you had to leave today?
You think I wanted this? I didn't do this. This wasn't me.
But to the test, would you slip back from the light of fire?
Whatever you're thinking of doing, don't.
That is the scar tissue of my journey through the universe.
Because I have lived a long life, and I have seen a few things.
From Gallifrey to Trent.
You can't rewrite history. Not one line.
I never said he was the Doctor.
What I did without choice.
There was a war, and we lost.
The entire war is time lost.
The Doctor in the TARDIS doesn't know.
You can't run away from this.
The Doctor will fall.
And welcome back. So, hope you're considering entering for the Dalek Tea Towel. So, hopefully that's happening. And now we've got some great news. We've got Martin who's coming here live from Woodville. So how's it going over there in Woodville, Martin?
It's going good. It's getting pretty dark, cloudy, but that's usual Woodville weather.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's same over here. I mean, it's getting dark. Hopefully it doesn't rain tomorrow. That's the important part.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully. And also, in the, latest news, what is happening next on 0800 TARDIS Reviews?
Oh, on the next 0800 TARDIS Reviews episode, I will be reviewing a fan film that I have found on YouTube by these 2 British people named Luke Newman and Chloe Norton. They have created a fan film called The Dawn of the Doctor, where Luke, his Doctor, has regenerated into, I believe, either the 12th or the 13th Doctor, and has crash landed on Earth. And you can see more of it on the episode. It's an awesome video.
Oh, okay. And what do you think about the latest news with Doctor Who in the cinema and all of that business?
Oh, I think it's awesome. I mean, I've already got my tickets to go see it on the 24th, so yeah.
Yeah, well, you're a bit ahead of me. I'm still deciding which theatre I'll be going to in Auckland, so it's going to be a bit interesting.
Yeah, yes it will.
And what do you think about the new studio layout? Do you like it? It's a little bit more modern.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good setup.
Yeah, pity I won't be taking it with me when I go on a holiday.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, I don't know. I don't think my car will be able to sit there and tow the, the couches, the cameras and the TV. But that would be so cool if that did happen.
True.
Yeah. Now, next 0800 TARDIS news episode, we're going to be bringing it from your place.
Yes, that is right soon. We'll be talking about the next episode of 0800 Tardis Reviews and talking about what will be going on at 0800 Tardis News at my place.
Yeah, okay. And so, who have we got in line for guests? Have we got them planned yet, or are we just going to drag some random people off the street who don't know what they're talking about?
I would probably ask my next door neighbour, Tracy. She's a Whovian, so she's more into the classic Doctor Who, so I might ask her.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. And any friends from college who live in Woodville that would be keen, or?
No, not really.
Right, not much Whovians who are, fans at Taurua.
No, not really.
Hopefully a few of them will pop up and there? Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did you think about the Access Metal 2 interview? I heard you had a bit of a listen.
Yeah, I had a bit of a listen. It was okay. It was good. And I saw a bit of it on the 0800 Tardis YouTube page. And
my YouTube page, yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and the announcement about the moon bounce, you're happy with that?
Yeah, I believe the moon bounce is going to be pretty cool. I mean, I've already put my name in for it, so...
Oh, yeah, I've still got to record my message to send off. It'll be a bit interesting what gets sent. I've also heard, as a rumour, someone might be planning to do a proposal via the moon bounce.
Are they?
Yeah, something a bit different. That's a different way to propose across the moon bounce. Well, I wonder how it will come across in the transmission.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. And is there any contest that you will be running on 0800 Tardis that you could give us a sneak preview of what's happening, or?
Well, I haven't really planned anything for yet, but I might be thinking of one. I just have to get back to you on it.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. And is anything else you'd like to add while we're on here?
Just to tell you that the latest 0800 Tardis reviews will be up soon. I just got to finish some editing and it'll be up on my YouTube channel soon. That's youtube.com/Duxfield Studios, and I will also be putting it on the 0800 Tardis Facebook page.
So we'll be look forward to seeing it on Wednesday, hopefully.
Hopefully Wednesday, yes.
Hopefully Wednesday. Okay, well thank you Martin for that. Okay, so we'll take a quick break and we'll see if we can try and get hold of Brian here. He went off to Dreamworld over in Australia along with his friend Cougar, and he went to, was it Dreamworld? No, it might have been Movie World, where he sat there and saw, and they've got a big thing about Doctor Who, so we're going to see if we'll have trouble. Well, I've already tried to get hold of him tonight, a little bit of a struggle, but we'll see if we can get hold of him before he sits there and knock off going to bed. So we'll catch you all after the break.
A word of advice. Plan for the future, and you'll be ready for anything.
Of course, I hear you say. It's easy for him. He's a Time Lord. He's been there often enough. But let me tell you something. You don't need a Gallifreyan time capsule or even a sonic screwdriver to shape the future. The answer the whole universe has been seeking for centuries is at the end of a telephone line. New Zealand Superannuation Services. Yes, I knew you'd be surprised. Oh, they're arriving. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, the life of a Time Lord. Traveling through time and space, toying with the future, mastering it, shaping it to your own design. Of course, anyone can do it now. What does it it take to shape the future? A beryllium time transformer? A sonic screwdriver? Or just the uncanny ability to remember a telephone number? The future. So much easier to plan for once you've been there. Of course, it helps to have one of these. A beryllium time transformer. The next best thing is a telephone number which will help you to start a savings plan for the 21st century. Take it from a Time Lord. However you plan to spend your future, plan on having something to spend. The past is filled with those who didn't care to plan for the future. I'm not saying that a regular savings plan would have saved the Krakenoids on Tar 7 from a life of financial drudgery and dependence. Then again, you never know. Remember, however you plan on spending the future, plan on having something to spend. What does it take to shape the future? A beryllium time transformer? A sonic screwdriver? Or just the uncanny ability to remember a telephone number?
And welcome back. Well, Brian seems to be having a bit of difficulty with his headset at the moment, so we will sit there and give it a miss for tonight. So, as the little bit of our final announcements, we really haven't got much to say, but we'd like you to all sit there and ring the moon bounce. If you would like to ring the moon bounce, you can ring 0800 827 347. As you know, that spells the word TARDIS. And leave a message to be pre-recorded for that. Or if you're in the international market, you can always go to 0800tales.co.nz, and we've got a link under the moon bounce section of our website. So for this show, I'd like to thank you to Brian Collins, who tried to but didn't, Martin Duxfield for coming in and telling us what's happening next on the show, and I'd like to thank Urban Charm for the Dalek tea towel. As you know, this will be a very well sorted out prize, and don't worry, I'll make sure I see your shop before I head off on my big holiday. And I'd also like to thank Cal Pearce for giving me a chance of an interview on Access Manua 2, plus sitting there and being one of my interviewees. As he said, it was a rare experience being the person being interviewed than the person being interviewing people. And I'd also like to thank Alan Jones from Draft FCB, who has came in and explained about what's going to happen with the moon bounce, and hopefully we'll sit there and that will go all live. You know, I don't know if there's much else we can thank, but there's been a few people we can thank on the show. I'll look forward to the 0800 Tales Road Tour. I hope you do too, because we're going to make sure we come in various locations around the country. My first stop will be Woodville, hopefully followed by Wairoa, and now we've got a fan who looks a bit like Rose Tyler. She would like to come in and meet me and as a member of the team, and hopefully we could even get a 10-minute interview with her. So, you know, it will be a bit interesting. So, I'd like to thank you here from all the OS 800 TARDIS team. We'll either see you online, on the show, or in person. Have a good night.